Crack it on, Bab. I love you. I've kept my glasses on this time because my eye goes a bit cockeyed. He's back once again, but not with the Renegade Master. He's back with the Swarm Lord Master. Yeah, welcome back. Thanks to the subscribers and all the lovely comments. Yay! So, LVL, my first time, not in America, but my first time competing in America. I had fun. I put pressure on myself, as I always do. I did say to myself and the rest of the VT guys that if I go there and come out with 3-3, I'd be happy. No pressure. Bang average, 50% wins, 50% losses. Have fun. Day one, I actually go 3-0. I don't know, I'm looking around, there's no one there. But yeah, I went 3-0 and I was buzzing. So I'm just going to recap through some of my games. I've got some footage for y'all, for my American friends and families out there, and cowboys and girls. There was some drama, I'm not going to lie. There's always drama. And why the hell would it be any fun if there wasn't any drama? So, yeah, let's go. Let's get into this. I'm not going to go into my list again because that is a plug to my first video. So if you're here for the drama, first go check out my list, then come back. And for those of you who have seen it, stay right there. And if you want to see my list again, then go back to the video. Anyway, so in the UK, before you get paired like maybe 1 or 2 days before the events. So you're there checking your phone, like stressing, thinking, oh my God, I'm matched against this. What can I do? I've already submitted my list. And you're just going through data sheets and you're talking to your friends about how you can beat this army. And it's an absolute minefield. However, at the LVO, they're doing things a little bit different. I'm there on the night before thinking, where's my pairings? Who am I playing? I'm like worrying. I wake up in the morning, no pairings. My first game's at 10 o'clock. I'm checked in, they're all there. There's like 1,000+ people. And they don't tell you your opponent until like 10 minutes before. So he goes, we've got our match, we've got our pairings. Everyone's running around trying to find their table number, trying to get set up. I've seen bloody Necrons. If you know me, I have I'm not even going to say a love-hate relationship. I have a hate-hate relationship with Necrons, especially Hypercrypt. So I'm glad that died. Now, I've just seen the new Star Shatter, whatever it's called. Hang on a minute, I'll tell you what it's called. Star Shatter Arsenal. So I saw that and I knew it was a new detachment. I've never played it before. But I was kind of glad it wasn't Hypercrypt because I was like, eh. So I get to the table and I played a guy called Seb and he was sound, he was lovely. He was there with his partner, I believe it was. We deployed, we set up, you know, should put some footage over the top of this. And he was the same guy. Now, to start with, the game started very cagey. It was a bit like he was scared of me, I was scared of him. He had 3 Doomsday Ark, he had Silent King, he had some Locust Destroyers, he had some Tomb Blades. And he had everything. He had the damage output, he had the speed, and he had the scoring pieces. So Seb went first, and the mission was take and hold and raise banners. I don't think he had any battle line, which favoured me because I could then do the banners. So Seb went first, and he pulled no prisoners and extend battle lines. Now, no prisoners wasn't looking great for him, simply because everything was hidden. However, he did move up, put the 2 blades onto a point, and he scored 5 points for the extend battle lines. And I pull, bring it down, and bloody overwhelming falls. Yeah. So I'm thinking, oh, bloody hell. Those Tomb Blades look tasty there, with the Exocrines looking at them. I'm going to blast them right off the objective. That's an easy 4 points for overwhelming. Then I want to blast your Doomsday Arcs, and I want to score myself some points. Not quite. He didn't move or commit the Doomsday Arcs to me in turn 1, so he played that a little bit smart. At the time I thought, he's playing a bit cagey, I can put pressure on him. But in that turn, due to the cards I pulled, he played it well. So then the only thing I could really see at this point was like this Tri-Stalker thing. Necron players, I'm sorry if I'm battering you. Actually, no, I don't care. Necrons suck. He had that Walker thing, and he had these 3 Tomb Blades. So I've gone, right, Tomb Blades are getting Exocrine to death. Killed 2 of them. About to shoot him with the next one. He goes, oh. Let me just pop a strat. I'm going, okay. So he paid a CP, and he could move off the objective. So I'm like, so my overwhelming force was like there, and he's gone. So I couldn't score that. So then, coming into his round 2, he then went and pulled Bring It Down and Sabotage. He killed something, can't quite remember what he killed, maybe an Exocrine for 2 points. He failed to get Sabotage because I believe I stopped him with something. So that was great. And yeah, it was a bit of back and forth. I put some footage over the top and recap. In my turn 3, I pulled Defend Stronghold and Area Denial, which I thought, okay, half decent. So I committed something to the middle. I scored a small Area Denial on that because he had some those flayed ones in the middle, so that denied me, but I managed to kill a couple and score there. And then obviously now I'm trying to defend my Stronghold, thinking that's somewhat easy. And the next minute in his turn, full sends a Silent King. So I've got Silent King just sitting there in my back base, thinking, lovely, I'm going to deal with him. So I had to pull back my Tyrannofaxes and everything. I just unloaded into him and I actually did pick him up, which is amazing because I could now score more on the hold, and then the game kind of went away with itself from there. So after that game, it was very close on the table, but we did get the win after game 1, 80-64 to the Nids. So game 2, I'm all buzzing. We've had a break, we've had a drink, caught up with the VT guys. I'm like, oh, I beat Necrons. Buzzing it because I hate Necrons. You get paired up with Austin running his Dark Angels. Dark Angels. I've never actually played against Dark Angels in 10th. So I was like, you know, Deathwing Terminators. I know they hit hard. They got anti-monster. So I thought, let's just quickly check his list because I see it on the break. He popped up like 10 minutes before, so I'm deep throating a burger. And he's got bloody 3 bricks of Terminators. So he's got 750 points of Deathwing Terminators. He's got a couple of Ballistas. He's got some Marines and chaff scoring. He's got everything to do some damage, did some Tyranids with his anti-monster 4+. But I'm like, no, I'm going to go in there. I felt quite confident that I could deal with his Marines because, you know, like I'm a T4, I've got T5 Terminators. I've got the strength to deal with it. I've got blasts. So we roll off and he goes first. And I'm thinking, okay, I think I want this. So the mission was Fog of War, Tipping Point Deployment, Linchpin, the one where you have to, I believe, hold your backfield and then you get more for the center, for the no man's land objectives. So he goes first. He doesn't really give me a lot. He just sends out a little bit because he knows that I've got the high strength monsters and high toughness monsters to deal with. But he sends up a Dreadnought and he sends up like I can get a bead and a couple of Deathwings. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to fully send and fully push and just hold as many objectives as I can and just say deal with this. That's what I did. I managed to kill 2 Deathwing Terminators. Yes. And I managed to kill a Ballistas, which was a great first turn for the Tyranids. So cards that we pulled. Turn 1, Austin got unfortunate by pulling Assassination and Extend Battle Lines. He committed the pieces he needed. He scored the 5. In my turn 1, I get Storm Hostile Objective and no prisoners. So I went bye-bye Ballistas, moved up some gaunts to deny the point. And there we go. Nice and easy. Okay, so going into Austin's turn 2, he pulls Containment, which he gets for easy 3 points. And he gets Overwhelming Force, which he also gets for free because he just obliterates the gaunts at the point. So score, so then he's pushed it back onto me and denies me primary. I come in with a cheeky Shadow in the Warp and he does fail a few battle shocks, which then reclaims the primary back to me. So I denied him there, which was great. But as you know, Tiffany players, it's either amazing or it's poo. But right then, it was incredible. So that was a great little move there. Going into my turn, I pull Cleanse, and Behind Enemy Lines. Now, easy peasy. I've pulled him forward because he has to be pulled forward because I'm scoring primary. I've shot a Spore Mine in the back and I've just gone cleanse with some Lictors. And I was like, yeah, that worked. Going into my opponent's then turn 3, he pulls secure no man's land and defend stronghold. He gets secure no man's land for 2, but he doesn't get defend stronghold because I own his backfield. I've charged from gaunts in. I'm on his back points. That's why he only scored 2 for secure. Unfortunate there. Sorry, Austin. It was very close back and forth game to start with, but then I started slipping away. And he came back again, and it was back and forth, and here's some footage and all that. I don't want to go through every single round and every single card, just some key moments. But that game ended 86-78 to the Nids. The last game of day 1. Something I have feared to play for a long time that I haven't played since maybe a year. And that is Tau, especially on the LVO terrain. Like, it's so open, you can't really hide big monsters, which in some cases was good for me against some matchups, but against Tau, I was a little bit scared. I managed to go through his list to start with, and he had a lot of firepower, and he had a lot of anti-infantry stuff. He had like 10d6 flamers. He had loads of like melter stuff. I know that's anti-infantry, but I thought, well, I've got a lot of T12 stuff. I've got a lot of T11 stuff. He wounded me on 5s, and I know that he can do little shenanigans and that to wound me on 4s, but that's still 50-50. You've got 2 shots on the melters, depending on how many he's got, guns he's got. So I thought I'd take it. So my game 3 was Scorched Earth, and I just full send. Put it all in the middle, and I was like, again, deal with that. It worked the last game. I thought, yeah, come at me. So that's what I did. He did go down the one side of the flank onto my objective that was closest to me, and he literally unloaded so many shots into my Malceptor, and I just, for the first time ever, because I rolled really bad in the previous 2 games, I managed to really spike and tank my invulnerable saves, and he was like, and my Malceptor was like, okay, I'll chew on that. So yeah, Malceptor pulled through. That -1 to hit is incredible. So I thought, okay, send some more guns out. Start deleting some of his assets. Start getting his units down to underneath half strength, which now means if it's below half strength and in range of the Malceptor, is now going to be -1 to wound within 6 inches. And this is the thing that people need to understand. So some things that most people don't know, and that's opponents, people who don't play Tyranids. The Malceptor has a -1 to hit aura, and it's not just on the Malceptor. If the Malceptor's here and the enemy is in 6 inches and you want to shoot something outside of 6 inches, if you're within 6 inches of the Malceptor, it's -1 to hit any of my models. If you then drop below half starting strength or half wounds, which is half starting strength, you are also -1 to wound. So that is a very powerful play. So I thought, okay, there's 2 Malceptors. So I put 2 Malceptors on the 1 point, and I was there basically the whole game just tanking shots. Game went back and forth. He managed to scorch a couple of objectives. He pushed back again, and we both drew really bad cards to start with. Actually, no, I lied. I drew great cards. He went first because I got really look at the dice rolls. He drew Bring It Down and Cleanse. I was like, okay, so if you want to come and cleanse, I'll delete you. And you ain't bringing nothing down because I'm hard as nails, obviously. Comes to my turn, I get Containment and Recover Assets. So I get Containment for 6 and Recover for 3. Lictors, gotta love them. Gotta love the Lictors. Yeah, so that game finished 85-77 to the Nids, and he defeats the Tau. So coming in to day 2, I get paired with my absolute worst nemesis. Not the player. Don't hate the player, hate the faction. I get Demons. I always seem to get paired against Demons on Purge or something like Necrons, Satan, and I just can't kill them. So I come against Demons, and I was laughing. My partner was with me at the time as well. And I said, I always get Demons on Purge. I've played the UKTC number 1. I've played the ITC number 2. I've played some top level Demon players and lost on Purge. So I come against a guy called Kevin, and I'm laughing about it, saying, oh, I know Demons. I've played against some of the best in the world. And he goes, I am the best in the world. I'm ranked number 1. I'm going, So So I come up and I shook his hand and I thought, you know what? I don't care about your ranking. Today's today. I'm playing well. I'm going to go for it. He beat me. Now, we had a close game. We roll off and Kevin goes first. And I'm thinking, do I want that? Does he want that? You know, I could maybe smooth my models on stage for like nice Overwatch for it. Couldn't really get a bead in anything. But then he doesn't really want to overcommit either. And because it's Purge, he basically sent up some Nurglings and I could see a chariot. So I thought, I wonder if I can kill the chariot. I can definitely pick up the Nurglings, but I don't want to overcommit. So I sent a Lictor and some Gaunts into the Nurglings, and I shot and one banged the chariot. So I've scored 4 points on Purge. I'm now thinking, bloody hell, I don't want to overcommit and kill these Nurglings now, because if I've killed them, I don't score any more, because as we know, we can't score more than, we can't kill more than our opponent in turn one. And knowing my luck, I've rolled really well, and I picked up these Nurglings, and I've gone typical. Normally I'll leave it on a wound or something, but no, I've killed it. What I wanted to do was keep them alive, hopefully, so then going into my round 2, I could then finish them off, get one on the kill count easy, and then try and kill someone else and try and deny him kill more. Because demons are really good at killing more. It's also because there's not many of them, and because they got like 4 ups and 5 avoidable saves, and they can dish damage out, it's quite hard to like kill one straight away unless you focus fire. And if I focused everything onto a demon to kill one, he can then just go, right, you killed one, I'll just kill 2. There was a very pivotal moment where he came in and he needed a 4-inch charge, rolled a 3, command re-rolled it, rolled a 2, and I'm like, that's really bad for you. So he unfortunately fired that charge. So now I thought, oh, hang on a minute. My midpoint is safe for a little bit now. So I want to just full send everything to these fiends. So he does that sneaky tactic. I'll try and one bang, or attempt to one bang his Keeper of Secrets. He forces a battle shock. I fail it. I have to redirect the target. So I thought, right, I'll put it into the fiends. He then does the other sneaky thing where within 12 inches, he can send them and convert them to mortal wounds onto his demonettes and his mask. And the bloody masks sort of fall up and feel no pain against mortals. So I'm there trying to do damage into the things that want to die. And he's just feeding it these. But then I thought, hang on a minute. Because if I wipe out that squad and kill the mask, that's 2 on the kill tally. So I just carried on blasting the fiends until he had no wounds left. And that's what I've done. So him failing that 4-inch charge was massive because it stalled me a turn. But then my downside was on my comeback turn, I pulled really bad cards. So this is going into round 3. I pull recover assets and engage on all fronts. Now, I don't really want to be doing these kind of actions when I need to be dealing with the fiends. So I was like, marvellous. So then that's what it was. So I struggled there. And then he full sent everything, full sent up his Keepers of Secrets. He's on my points and he started whittling me down where he was holding more and killing more. Then comes into my turn 5. I fast forward again. The game's quite close at this point. It was like 60 to like 70 something. He's on an objective. If I kill this demon off the objective, I will hold more, kill more, I'd score no prisoners and overwhelming force, and that will win the game. So I sent everything into it. He redirected my shots, and I basically, long story short, left the Keeper of Secrets with 1 wound left. And that was the end of that game, and I lost it 69 to 84. And Kevin, mate, you were an amazing player. Dream to play against. All of my opponents have been great on day 1 and beginning of day 4. Just back and forth, really competitive, and I didn't have one easy game. So going into game 5, I get paired with sisters. Now, if this had been 6 months ago, I'd be terrified, but I'm going in. We're playing the Ritual, a mission I was not familiar with, but I know the concept of it. And I get paired against Dan, I believe. He's got 2 Castigators, he's got Repentia, he's got those pantsuit things with heavy bolters, he's got more than Vol and 6 war suits. He's got some things to remove me, but I wasn't actually that terrified about him. I thought, well, I've got enough bodies, I've got enough training pieces. If I just flood the board and keep scoring, I'll be all right. So he goes first. I'm on a streak with the roll-offs. He doesn't send in too much, and I've noticed he's put his tanks behind the walls because he's scared to get shot. So I've come in and I've gone, right, my first turn, I'm just going to full send a Tyrannofax mid-board. I now know that he doesn't really have the damage unless he overcommits everything and comes out. He cannot physically kill that Tyrannofax. I can blank damage, and his castigators, I believe, are like strength 9 or 10, -1 free damage. So unless he spikes, he ain't killing it. And that's exactly what happened. That Tyrannofax stayed there for the majority of the game, holding my point and just being a presence. And after the game's back and forth, whittling each other down, he just struggled to kill the bigger monsters. He came in with a rapid ingress on turn 3, I believe, because he had to with Paragon Waters and Marvin Val. They picked up an Execrete, but I think they came in too late. I managed to play them out the game and screen him out, so he was forced to rapid ingress in turn 3 because he had nowhere to drop them. And just keeping him back. I did say from the end, it was closer on the score than it was on the board because he did really well with his secondaries. And yeah, the game finished 80 to 100. He's a great guy, nice player, and I think he said to me that it's his first physical tournament for a while. He's played loads of TTS, but I think that was his first physical tournament. And he actually borrowed models from his mate, who happened to be on the table next to him. So I'm currently now going into the final of LVO, 4 and bloody 1, and I'm happy. And I'm like, can I have an easy game? Can I have a matchup that I know? Can I come against an army that I know well, I can deal with, like an infantry-based army? And I get it. I look down, and I get matched with Custodes, and I'm like, okay. I looked at his list. He didn't have those flying units, the Ventry, whatever they're called. He didn't have any of them. He had loads of Wardens and loads of guys on foot. And I was like, wow, pretty slow. We're playing Terraform. Nids love Terraform. I had a game plan. I was like, I actually want to go first this time. I want to flood the board, block him off from the points, Terraform every objective and go, deal with that. Parker went first. He moved up. He didn't get any of the points. He pulled, actually. Parker pulled Containment and Established Locust. So he scored an easy 6 and then a 2. But he's forced them to do actions with his killing units, but he didn't want to overcommit anyway. He didn't terraform any objectives, and he wasn't really standing on any objectives. He was on a staging for me. Comes into my turn. I pulled Containment again, cheeky, and Extend Battle Lines. So I thought, perfect. These cards couldn't go any better for me. I want to get onto the objectives. I want to terraform. I need to be there anyway. So there's my extends. Gaunts are going to contain for me. This is light work. I've done that. And I terraformed 2 objectives. And I thought, I'm just going to terraform these 2 and let him try and take this one. I'll try and sabotage and take it off him and try and deny him. Now, this is where my LVO experience goes from being amazing to a little bit like bad taste in my mouth, because this is nothing against Parker as a person. He was a good player. He had a great list, but we'll just get into it. He took a very long time to do his turn 2, and that's not because he was trying to slow play me, I don't believe. I just put him in a position, as I said, where I showed him my army. In the mid-board, I had a Malceptor on its side, and I had a Malceptor behind it. I was terraformed here, and he had Zoanthropes. The moment he comes anywhere near me, he's getting overwatched. There's no physical way he could kill 2 Malceptors or charge into the one that's terraforming. I knew that. He didn't have the assets to deal with me. His army was too spread. And he took time to really think and map out his turn, which he can do. It was on the clock. Your time's your time. He took a long time. It was maybe 25, 30 minutes. So coming into my turn 2, I had about an hour left on the clock, playing back and forth. I was quite quick. I had time now to slow down a little bit and really think. In my turn 2, I pull Area of Denial and recover assets. I score 3 on recover assets with the Lictors. I scored 2 on Area of Denial because he had Wardens in there and he had these bikes. So I thought, right, I want to try and delete as much as I can. I deleted 2 bikes. He then pops up his 4 pound his wardens, absolutely spikes them. The -1 to hit, -1 to wound. He's whittling me down. I thought, oh bloody hell. So he charges into my, he kills my lictor, consolidates into my gaunts. He's now out OC'd me on that point. So technically, my terraform should stop. I fight back. I maybe take a couple of wounds off one warden. So now I was like, now he's stopped one of my terraforms. What do? I'll try a sneaky shadow. Shadow in the warp. He fails a lot. And I'm like, bloody hell, like, I'm quids in here for you British guys, or I'm dollars in for you Yanks. Basically, I'm in a good spot. He's failed his battle shock. I've now reclaimed my terraform. I own that objective. I've now scored some primary. This is perfect. I'm doing very well. I'm ahead. My opponent's burned a lot of his time. He's now going into his turn 3. I'm going to lose his gaunts, but I don't care now. I've terraformed and I've held primary for a turn longer than he has. I'm in a good spot. He pulls storm hostile objective, extend battle lines. Well, as a given, he's already on the bloody points. He's going to kill me off. That was an easy 9 points for him. Comes into my turn 3. I get cleanse and no prisoners. This is a tricky one for me because where I was and where he was, I didn't really have the assets to be deleting units. He had a rhino on a point. I thought, okay. I actually drew bring it down and I burnt it for cleanse. Now, I need to kill. I don't really want to do actions. So I cleanse with 1 lictor on the midpoint. That's all I could do. I killed his tank and I failed to kill any wardens just because I didn't have the assets around there to get line of sight to focus. So I only scored 4 points there. 2 on cleanse, 2 on no prisoners. So after both of our turn 3s, we go into Parker's turn 4. He's got 32 seconds left on his clock. He goes to me, we're not going to clock each other out, are we? There is some lenience with the clock. And I said to him, well, the clock's the clock, and we'll just keep playing. And if we go over, the judges basically say what happens at the time. I've got time. I know I can do what I need to do. He's panicking a bit. But I was lenient with him. I gave him some extra time, and I put the time back on me just because I had adequate time, and I didn't want to be, an arsehole. So this is where it gets a bit like a bit unfortunate, a bit sad. So I score him his prime. He's got 32 seconds. He pulls his cards. He does what he needs to do. Comes to my turn 4. I didn't even put the clock on him. So that 32 seconds was still. He still had 32 seconds going into his turn 5. Comes to my turn 4. I said to him, I'm not moving. I'm not shooting. I'm just going to score because I now know that I've got more time than you, so I can really focus on my movement to get onto the objectives for turn 5 to score for the end. I was like, if I play this, I've got the win. It's there. It's right there in front of me. So in my turn 4, I get defend stronghold behind him lines. He's got no time on his clock. He can't take the stronghold from me. I thought, oh my god, I've done it. I've done my locus. I've done behind him lines with spawn mine. We're all good. We comes in his turn 5. I said, look, you've got no seconds. He goes, I've got 32 seconds. I said, Parker, I said, you don't have 32 seconds. Those 32 seconds should have been gone in your turn 4, but I kept the time on me because I saw how little time you had because I was being nice. So he goes, but I've got 32 seconds. He pulls his cards. He gets sabotage. He gets area null, and he moves his models to secure a terraform, and that point where the gaunts were. I said, you can't move your models. You can't terraform. He goes, why? I said, because you've got no time. I said, I'll score you primary. And at that point, he had 3 points. So he scored like 12 on the primary. And I gave him that. I gave him the 12 points. It's funny enough. He tried to terraform an objective that already terraformed, and you can't do that. And I'm like, right, I'm just going to score you primary. Comes into my turn 5. I get 12 in total because I terraformed 2 objectives. I get established locus, secure no land, I pull that. So I had the game at 92-89 to me, very close, but this is me not counting his sabotage or his areas and all, because like I said, he had no time. He was a little bit upset by it, he was questioning me, but I can do this, I can do that. I had 32 seconds, the clock, the time was all a little bit messed. And I know he wasn't used to playing on the clock, I was. Well, I did say to him, I'm glad I put you on a clock because, no offense to Parker, again, he was a lovely guy. If I didn't put Parker on the clock, there's no chance on this earth I would have had a turn 3 because he was very slow at making decisions. That's not me saying he was a bad player. That's me saying that I put him in a position where he really had to think. So we called a judge over. Going into my turn 5, I had over 5 minutes on the clock. I'd already scored it. We waited for a judge because I wanted to dispute the fact that I thought I won and Parker thought he'd won. I explained to the judge he had no time left. My clock's still ticking down. Another judge came over and was like, what's happening? He explained that we scored turn 5 and Parker didn't get his secondary because he ran out of time. And the judge goes, how much time did he have? He goes, well, I've got 32 seconds. I said, no, you don't have 32 seconds. Like, he's obsessed with his 32 seconds. I had over 5 minutes. And the judge just turned around and said, no one scored turn 5. Take it back to turn 4. And that was the score. So I actually then got a loss because he took my turn 5 off from both of us. So I actually scored secondaries in turn 5. I scored primaries and terraform in turn 5. I went second. We all know going second, you score at the end of the game. So based off that, my whole game plan was, can I block Parker off objectives and stay on the point at the end of the game to secure the victory? So for a judge to come in and just take away my win like that, my 5-1, very close 5-1, was heartbreaking. So I actually finished 4-2 in my first LVO. And I'm upset about it a little bit. I'm not going to cry about it like a baby. It is what it is. That's the game. But I did win that game. But no, my experience was great. And this is nothing against Parker. He was a great opponent. I just feel that the LVO and the judging at that time wasn't the best for me, obviously. And yeah, sometimes being nice bites back. But anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed some of the footage. I wish I could have filmed some more. LVO and Vegas was great. I actually proposed some partners, so now I'm engaged. Way! Jay's going to chop this up. Hopefully she doesn't terrorise me too much. My partner edits all my videos simply because all the little geeky things that I do in the video I cut out because I'm cringy, but she says, no, it's your personality, keep it in. Hence why I'm start doing all random stuff. So hopefully you'll see this and it hasn't come out too bad. Please subscribe. Any comments or any questions about Tyranids, drop down below. I'm overwhelmed that I've reached 1,000 subscribers and I've only on my channel a week, so that's incredible. Thank you for the comments, thank you for the love. And again, anything you want to know about Tyranids or any kind of faction, if I can help you, drop a comment and big love. Nids from the Nids.